Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So in today's tutorial, we're going to be working on a art stone that I created using Ultracal 30 and a mold that I purchased from the Happy Dotting Company. If you are interested, there is a link in the description below that you can click on and it'll take you right to her Etsy shop. She has so many great molds, different sizes, different shapes, even ones that you can use to make tea light holders. So definitely go and check her out. She's got some amazing stuff, amazing tutorials as well on YouTube. So just search up Happy Dotting Company. So this stone is perfect for doing all sorts of good things that are fun, easy, and you can get as intricate as you want to. If you live in a climate like I do, it's very difficult to find stones in the wintertime. However, a lot of our snow has melted, but it's still kind of cold out and rainy and yucky. So I don't feel like going out rock hunting just yet. So I use these molds and they are perfect, especially for doing what I'm doing today. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the April moon. Now I know I'm a little bit late on getting this done. Actually, I've had it done for a while. I'm just late getting the video up. But it still is the April moon, which is the pink moon. And it's rather simple. All I did was I painted a moon in pink. But it's what I did to surround the moon that was a lot of fun. So this is just a part of a lot of blending. If you've seen any of my other moon tutorials, there's a lot of blending, but not to blend in completely. So you want to leave some lights and some dark areas all over because you want to give it the visual of the moon. So when you look at a full moon outside up in the sky at nighttime, you can almost see where it's dark and where it's light. And those are the little crevices, I guess, and the different peaks and valleys that are built on the moon over thousands and thousands, maybe even millions of years. And you can visually see those from Earth. And you want to kind of capture that. So you don't want to blend everything in completely perfectly. So I'm using a bunch of different hues, I guess, or different colors of pink. I started off with wildberry and bubblegum pink and mixed them together by blending and then adding a little bit of white here and there where I thought that it needed some light to brighten it up. Then I let it dry. And then when I let it dry, I looked at it and thought, nope, it's not the pink that I was looking for. So I ended up grabbing a couple of other colors that I put into this. So it was light pink and rose mist. And you know what? I just quoted the wrong colors. So the first colors that I did, the first two pinks, were bubblegum and light pink. Then I let it dry and I came back in with using light pink, or sorry, rose mist and wildberry. All of the colors that I use are listed in the description below. So I list them by brand name and then their actual color name so that you can find those if you so choose and you want to use the same colors that I used. However, let me warn you, my stash is so old that a lot of the colors that I use that are from the older set is not available anymore. And I found this out a little while ago when I ran out of Napa Red and I wanted some more and they don't make it anymore. So it's under a different name and you just basically have to go in and hopefully find a color that matches the color that you've run out of because they just simply don't make them anymore. And that's proof that these paints, you don't use a lot of them and they last forever. And like, I don't know, maybe one day I'll show you my stash and show you where I do all my creativity and my filming and my setup and that. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see something like that. And maybe I'll take you on a quick virtual tour of where I do all of my creative artwork. Um, so I've gone in and I've done the two colors originally, and then I came back in with two different pinks, and this is the result that I ended up with. And I really liked it after that. So now I'm just going around with some black paint and I'm just sort of touching it up, but I don't want it to be a perfect circle. I want to leave some of those sponge marks on the edge so it kind of has a glow to it. I didn't want to make it like a perfect circle. I really wanted it to keep the idea of it being a moon. So I just touched up a little bit and I wasn't too careful, and I just went ahead and went around the whole thing. But I was careful not to paint over top of my pencil marks, or my General's charcoal pencil marks that I used at the beginning with my compass, because those are going to be my guidelines for when I put my frame on. So I do frame this, and I use a new gold that I just got, and it's called Mayan gold. And is it ever beautiful? Like, it is just so beautiful. It glides on so nicely. There's no clumping, but I'll tell you this, it's expensive. So when you do use it, make sure that anything that you don't use, you put back in the bottle, or you only pour out what you need, because this stuff, it really is gold. If you think of it that way, that it's really expensive, but so worth it. So I purchased it at Michael's. I don't know if you can get it anywhere else. I just happened to be in Michael's and I saw it there and I thought it was so beautiful. And so I brought it home with me. But yeah, it's a great gold to use, and it flows so nice. Like you can see just with my paint strokes that I'm doing there, it just keeps flowing. It's wonderful to use. So if you don't have that, or you don't want to spend the money on that, totally okay. You can use any gold that you want. Notoriously, I use Glorious Gold, which is by DecoArt. It works just as good. So just use what you have in your stash. You don't have to use what I'm using. It's just, I'm trying things out and showing you, so then you can make that decision if you want to use it or not. So just my opinion. I'm not affiliated with anybody. This is just me letting you guys know how I feel about this paint. Anyway, so now what I'm doing is I'm doing kind of like a swooshy, come down to a point kind of thing. So I know that's not very technical, but so I go down and then I curve it to the left and then drop it down into a point. Now I know you can't see that right now, but I did them all in the same direction. So now I'm doing the exact same thing, but in the opposite direction. So it ends up being kind of like I'm not sure what you would call it. Like, I see them as like a cathedral window. That's how I see them. But I don't know the proper term for it, and I'm really sorry. Maybe I should look up these things so I can give you guys the proper terms. But that's what it looks like to me, is like a cathedral window, of a stained glass window type thing. But I'm not going to do stained glass. I'm not that good. I'm going to put some dots in here. And these dots that I'm putting on right now are at the very tips of those points that I make, or the top of the cathedral window. And I just put them on top because, I'll be honest with you, my points didn't actually meet all the time, or maybe one was a little bit longer than the other. And I think it was because of the angle that I was on working on this rock, and I didn't meet them up properly. So I put a gold dot on top of that just to fix it up or clean it up, and it looks a lot better. Now I'm going in with one of my acrylic rods. I got these from the Dotting Center. I also urge you to check them out for all of your dotting tool needs, as well as amazing tutorials on YouTube. She's on Etsy, she has an Etsy shop. And yes, there is a link in my description. And yes, there is a 10% discount if you use my discount code. So make sure you grab that when you're in the description there and checking stuff out there. I also have all sorts of other links and things like that to places to get things, some of the tools that I've used in the past or that I'm using currently. I also have tutorials listed in there for how to make your own rocks using the molds from the Happy Dotting Company and using Ultracal 30. I also have how to make a blending brush, and I also have how to make your own fine lining brush. So those are all in the description below. So now that I've been yapping away, I'll catch you up. I put some gold dots straight, like right in the middle of my outline, closest to the moon, because I wanted it to look like they were dangling or attached. And that was the best way I could think of to do it. And now I'm just adding some black dots that go around on top of those pink dots once they've dried. Then I wait for the black dots to dry and I add a gold dot on top of that. So it just totally brings the entire essence of the rock all together in that frame by using all the colors, so the pink, black, and the gold. So let me know if you like this video by giving me a thumbs up. If you're new here, thank you for joining us today, and make sure you subscribe before you leave and make sure you ring the bell because that'll give you a notification every time I post something new. And make sure that you stick around to the end of this video because I do post photographs of different angles so you can see what this looks like from different angles and you'll get a really good view to the border that I created on this. And I really wish I had to film this a little bit differently so that you could see it, or maybe held the rock so you could see it, but it is really, really pretty. So then I put in some black dots on top of the little gold dots. So it really, really makes it look like it's just hanging there onto something that's attached to the frame around it. And I think it just finished the rock off completely. So remember, folks, life is what you make it. So get creative.